Dear Green Day and your fans, first off, let's get something straight. You guys aren't a punk band, and studying your back catalog, you never were. Just because you dye your hair and let your guitar strap sit hilariously low does not make you punk. I've said it so many times before. Punk is a state of mind that you clearly do not have. You guys are a simplistic pop rock band, nothing more. If you break your music down to its core elements, it has far more in common with Aerosmith than it does the Stooges. And just because you drop the occasional F-bomb here or there and try and act like you're too cool in interviews doesn't tip the scales in the least. The true irony of your American Idiot record was not lost on me in the least. A major label-owned, Grammy-winning band that has a Broadway show trying to be passed off as anti-establishment or rebellious or anything of that nature is amazingly ironic. And the fact that your fans ran along for the ride so willingly shows their general intelligence and understanding of the world at large. No, you guys aren't sellouts. You'd have needed to actually be a punk band at some point for that to happen. And going all the way back to your Smooth and Kerplunk albums, it's obvious that you were just trying to pass off simple and silly as edgy from the start. But when all you're doing is trying to be seen as more raw than No Doubt or PM Dawn, it's not very difficult. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? Your so-called punk rock, anti-everything, rebellious music is part of the soundtrack to the Twilight movies, as well as being on the TV show CSI. And speaking of TV, nothing says punk rock like being a guest host on reality TV. So hardcore. And to your fans, let me give you another reminder that buying one of everything at Hot Topic and a few jars of Manic Panic is about as far from punk as you can get. And bragging that Green Day is somehow more punk than Blink-182 is just about as logical as arguing whether McDonald's or Burger King cheeseburgers are more similar to a well-cooked steak. Neither of them are punk. It's all pop music. Live in reality. For the record, Green Day, I do enjoy a few parts of your first 4 albums, and every once in a while they provide a fun listen. But to try and group them in the same category as bands like Operation Ivy or NoFX or any of the other real punk and ska bands from your era? Come on, let's be real here. Oh, and by the way, Billy Joe, congrats on being around for a whole 25 years in the music industry. I'm not sure why in your moronic rant on stage the other week, you felt that was somehow relevant. Perhaps they wouldn't have cut your set time short if your music actually had something of substance for the audience. You're on the same level as NSYNC or Justin Bieber. You're all pop stars, nothing more. In closing, Green Day is not punk. Dressing up music behind hair dye and eyeliner and a bit of a faster tempo is not punk rock. It's marketing, plain and simple.